Hi, my name is Beatriz and I'm glad to be here at learnr to present the talk Scaling Feedback Using learnr and gradethis in an Introductory R course. This talk is available on this link, so you can check it out if you want. And this presentation was made by me, Beatriz Milz, and Fernando Correa, and we are both part of Curso R. So, Curso R is a Brazilian organization that creates a lot of open source materials and also offers R courses. We are really active in the Brazilian R community, and most of the materials that we create is in Portuguese, but you can check it out or R packages that are in English as well. So, up to March 2020, all the courses were in person, but due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we had to change all the courses to an online approach. That led to an increase of the numbers of participants. And one thing that was challenging for us was to deal with homework assignments because it's really time consuming to check and give feedback to all the students. And because it took so much time to give these feedbacks, usually the feedback was not timely. The students got the feedbacks after some time, and that was not useful for them. So we had this idea that we needed to facilitate this workflow to give homework assignments and give feedback to the students and also see what they answered. And we actually didn't know how to do that, but we knew that package learnr existed. That is a package developed by RStudio that allows us to create interactive tutorials for R. And also package gradethis, also developed by RStudio, is a package that allows us to give feedback using package learnr. So we knew that these tools existed and we wanted to try that more, but actually we didn't knew how the students could submit the answers so we could see their answers. So what we did was to ask on Twitter, and Shanina answered me and pointed me to this talk from Mini Cetinkaya-Rundel. So this talk was presented by Mini in RStudio Global Conference 2021, and she presented an approach for giving feedback at scale, and the presentation is really good. I recommend you to watch it. So Mini presented an approach, and we tried this approach in an Introduction to Programming with R course. So this course happened already in June and in September this year. And here we're going to talk a little bit about the challenges we faced, the tools that we used, and also what we still need to do in order to improve this workflow. So, what tools did we use? First, we created every homework as an interactive tutorial using package learnr, and we also incorporated the exercises feedback using the package gradethis. In this image, you can see what the tutorial looks like, and you can see that it's all in Portuguese. There's spaces where people can interact with our code, and if someone click this button, gradethis will give a feedback for each exercise. We also used the package learnrhash to generate text-based representations of the answers, which is called by the authors of the package a hash, and the students could copy and paste this hash in order to submit their answers to the exercises. And we also added in the end of each homework a Google Forms where people could add their names, their emails, and the hash generated by learnrhash with their answers, so we could see what the students answered in each question. We used the package Google Sheets 4 to import their answers sent by the students through Google Forms, and we also developed a reproducible report to present the results of the homework assignments using R Markdown and the package PageDown. This is how the first page of the report looks like, and in the end of each class, we ask the students to do the homework related to the class that was given, and before the next class, we always started looking their answers in order to see if there was any content that needed to be reviewed in the start of the next class. So how can the students access the homework? There were two methods that we tried, and each one of them has pros and cons. And the first one is deploying the learnr Shiny app in shinyapps.io. The pro for using shinyapps.io is that it offers a straightforward deploy and user experience, and the cons is for the student it requires the internet connection, and for the teacher the free tier has a limit of hours that could be used in a month. So if you have a lot of students, you probably will need to pay in order to use it. We used a paid basic plan and it worked really well for us. The other method that we used was to add every learnr tutorial inside an R package. The pros is that the students don't require internet access. They only need internet to send their answers. And for the teachers is really good because it's free. You don't need to pay anything in order to create a package and add on GitHub. The cons is that the learners must install the package from a remote source like GitHub, and we noticed that some of the students had problems with that. We had to share screen with them and help them in order to install the package. And the most important cons is that documents are prone to encoding issues, and that was hard for us because we were not able to reproduce the encoding issues that some of the students found. So we found two main challenges, and the first is that the learnr interactive document is not the same environment in which usually the R programming happens. So we are not sure if the learners will realize how to apply their knowledge on longer codes. The other challenge is related to the language, because the packages learnr, gradethis, and learnrhash were designed in English, so all message, buttons, and other words are written in English. So starting with the package learnr, this package has maintainers that are making great efforts to support additional languages in the tutorials. So all the buttons and simple messages, the praises and encouragements, they all have the possibility to change from English to other languages. These are some links that you can click and check it out, the issues and pull requests related to that. The second package that we used a lot was gradethis, and this package is still 100% in English. So we made a fork of the package and translated the internal messages into Brazilian Portuguese, and we called it gradethis. We think that gradethis is a temporary package and will be better if this feature is native in gradethis in the future. And we know that part of the developers of gradethis are the same developers of learnr, and they seem interested in developing these features. The third package is learnrhash, which is also still 100% in English, but there's only a few words that need to be translated. So, to conclude this talk, I think it's important to facilitate the use of learnr by more non-English speakers in forthcoming courses. And we want to help improving learnr, gradethis, and learnrhash to support additional languages as well, such as Brazilian Portuguese, Spanish, and others. We think this is important not only for the Portuguese-speaking community. In this image, we have a tweet by Shanina. In this tweet, she was talking about how now we could add buttons and texts in other languages in our learnr tutorials. This tweet is from January, and since then we made a lot of improvements in order to have learnr tutorials in other languages. I know that in Latin America, a lot of people don't speak English, so I hope we can continue improving the internationalization features in learnr in order to be accessible for more people. I would like to thank Crusoe, Mini Cetinkaya-Rundel, Colin Rundel, Gary K.D. Bowie, our studio, the learnr team, the greatest team, Shanina Bellini. And thank you for watching the talk. If you want to chat with us, we are available on Twitter. And these are the references that we used, mostly the packages. Thank you all.